Yashala. Kwam Yashala. Kwam Yashala. All praises to the Most High, man. Brothers been bringing it out mighty. Brothers been edifying. Now, sister, we're going to do a recap. We're going to keep building. Right? This is Legos up here. We're going to keep building. Right? First, let's start with Psalms chapter 133 and verse number 1.
Psalm 133 verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
Read it again.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
So this is pleasant and beautiful in the sight of the Lord, sister. Us being up here in unison, where we got the sisters over there, sister. I admonish you to go talk to those sisters when you're done learning who you are. Right? Build up the sisterhood. Find out how to truly be an Israelite. Right? Because if you don't, that's who's waiting for you.
Right.
That man right there, that creep right there. Look at it. Right? So sister, we up here. Look, this is your protection right here. Right? Or you be caught in the midst of Esau. Keep going with that, King.
It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garment.
Right, so it's so beautiful. It's like the oil that was on the high priest. The high priest is a high position in Israel. It's like the president. Right? He's up there. Can't anybody just come to talk to him. So us dwelling together in unity is like the precious oil that was on his beard. Right? The beautiful oil that was on his beard. Right? Keep going, King.
Come on. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descend upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessings, even life forevermore.
So it's so beautiful for us to dwell together. It's like where the Lord gave out the commandments. Right? So sister, what's your nationality before we continue on?
You said my nationality?
Yeah, your nationality. African American. Now, did this mighty brother right here tell you he was an African American? Now, did that mighty brother up there tell you he was an African American? Who told you he was an African American?
Wake him up!
White people. Now, who are you according to the Bible?
That's
Israelites, sister. So let's start over. What's your nationality? There we go, sister. All praise to the Most High. And as an Israelite, what are you commanded to do? Obey God. Keep His commandments. Let me get Malachi chapter 2 and start at verse 2. Give me Philippians chapter 3 and verse 2.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 2.
Bring it up.
If you will not hear, and if you will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you.
What's going to happen if you don't keep the commandments, sister? He's going to send a curse upon you, sister. And that's what we're out here to prevent. We love you so much that we came out on our Saturdays to teach you, sister. Would you say your name was Chastity? Chastity. So you're not going to be held in these curses any longer. You're not going to be bound by these curses, right?
I will even send a curse upon you and will curse you. Your blessings, lucky. And yea, I have cursed them already because you do not lay it to heart.
So the Lord said He's going to curse you on top of cursing you. But we have the faith and we have the understanding that the Lord is calling the small remnant back to repent and keep the commandments. To repent and bethink themselves. Let me get Luke chapter 1 and verse 37. Right, Luke chapter 1 and verse 37.
Luke chapter 1 and verse 37. For with God no thing shall be impossible.
Read it again.
For with God no thing shall be impossible.
So there's no thing that's impossible, sister, with the Most High. It's not impossible to come back and keep the commandments. It's not impossible to stop wearing pants and put on a beautiful skirt. Right? Did we already touch on that? That you can't wear that? Now, what type of skirt can you wear? A skirt below your knees, right? It has to be modest. That's the word right there, modest. Right? Bring that out, King. Philippians.
Philippians 3 verse 2. Beware of dogs. Beware of evil workers.
So we have to beware because we're sheep. It's like we're sheep out here. We're missing our shepherd. So we're going to and fro. But we have our shepherd. So we got to beware of dogs and evil workers. What happens if a sheep walks up on a dog? What's going to happen to that sheep? He's going to get killed. He's going to be devoured. What happens if a sheep walks up on an evildoer? They're going to get skinned. They might break their limbs. They might snap their neck. They might eat them without cooking it. So we have to beware as sheep of the Lord, the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Beware of the concision, for we are the circumcision, which worship God in the spirit and rejoice in Yahushua HaMashiach. and have no confidence in the flesh.
We have no confidence in the flesh. We have no confidence in the flesh because the flesh has us do error. The flesh has us eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, worship other gods, whatever we want to do, sleep with all manner of women, sisters sleep with all manner of men, smoke weed, drink excessively. That's what happens when you trust in the flesh, sister. So what we have to do is trust in the Lord. Put our faith in the Lord. Now, what are some things that we're not supposed to eat? Pork, seafood. What type of seafood, sister? Okay. What about bass? Can I eat some bass? What about trout? Can I eat trout?
I didn't know about the fish thing. I just heard about the shellfish.
Well, let's go to Leviticus 11, verse 9.
Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, and in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So we can eat fish. Anything that has fins and scales in the water, sister. If it don't have fins and scales, it's not going in your pans or pots. Right? Say it with me. No fins and scales, not going in pans or pots.
No fins and scales, not going in pans or pots.
There you go, sister.
That's right.
There you go. All praises to the Most High. Let's spin this around real quick. So down here at the bottom of this poster right here, it's the clean animals that the Most High has ordained for his chosen people to eat. Then you got the unclean animals. Right? So what do you see for the clean animals?
Cow.
Bison.
Deer, sheep, chicken, turkey.
All the stuff that we know how to throw down on, right? What about the unclean stuff? What'd you see on there?
Pork, rabbit, dog, cat.
Now, if we gave you a rabbit sub, would you eat that?
Wow.
Well, what's the difference from eating pork?
I don't eat pork.
Well, you shouldn't eat pork, right? That's because the Lord doesn't want you to eat pork. And if you did, that's a curse on top of a curse on top of a curse.
Right.
Right? So we can only eat things with fins and scales.
Teach, King.
Right? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 22.
Deuteronomy 22 and what?
Go to 16.
Deuteronomy 22 and 16. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her. And lo, he hath given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city.
Salaki, that's not what I wanted. Exodus 22 and 16. Salaki. Exodus 22 and 16. Woo! Yeah, we'll touch on that later, right? Exodus 22.
Exodus 22 verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Right, so I heard you say earlier, sister, that you're engaged to be married, right? So according to the law, if you were to lay down with that man already, he will already be your husband. Right? We're not going by what these weird, sick people tell us to do, having marriage contracts. That's just for their benefit. That means it's you, the man, and the state that you got married in. It's three people involved in that marriage. And the Lord said husband and wife, not husband in the state of Maryland. So if you were to lay down with that man, that would be your husband. And you already have intentions of that man being your husband. So from this day forward, you have to address that man as Lord. That's your head.
Right.
That's your protection in these last days. And you got the fire. You're supposed to show him. Give me Proverbs 14 and 1. As a righteous woman, you got to show him the way that he should walk in.
Right.
You got to teach him that he's an Israelite. So he could be won by your conversation. Let me get that in 1 Corinthians 7. What you got?
Proverbs chapter 14 verse 1. Every wise woman buildeth her house.
Read it again.
Every wise woman buildeth her house.
So a wise sister, you're going to build your house up.
Right.
And your foundation of your house has to be the most important, right? You can't build something on a weak foundation.
Right.
What's going to happen if you build a beautiful 8-bedroom house on a weak foundation? What's going to happen to that house? It's going to crumble. So what should your foundation be, sister?
Okay.
The Lord. That's right. So you have to build that foundation. Now that you understand that you're an Israelite, right? Your husband's an Israelite, right? You're not dealing with nobody of the other nations, right? Okay, all praise to the Most High.
All praise
right,
to
keep
the
going
Most
with that,
High.
King.
But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands.
So you can't, you're not foolish, sister. You've been up here for 3 teachers.
Right.
It's almost been 2 hours you've been up here.
Wow.
So you're going to continue to build your house because you're going to encourage your husband to read. You're going to encourage your husband to come out here and stand out here with the men of the Lord so that he can get built up. Y'all going to sit down and y'all going to read one chapter 1 week, right? 1 week a day or 1 day a week. Then you're going to build it up to 2 chapters a day that next week, then 3 chapters a day the following week. And y'all going to keep reading and reading and reading. And watch how the Spirit of the Lord is dwelling in your house. Watch how you're going to start wearing dresses and forget about what pants are. You're going to forget how to zip a zipper. Right? Shoot, let my wife come in the house with pants. And what you think I'm going to do? I'm going to lose my mind. That's how your husband should be when he sees you with pants. That's how your husband should be when he sees you falling short. And that's how you should be when you see him falling short. Bring that out, King.
1 Peter 3 verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by conversation of the wives.
So it's your job, sister, to encourage your husband that he may be understanding of the words. Seek out more of the words. Try to be entice him and provoke him to good works.
That's right.
Right? How long have y'all been together? Almost a year? Well, now is no better time than now to change that year into forever under the leadership of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Moving in the Spirit of the Lord. That's what we should be doing, sister. Give me Exodus chapter 20, verse number 8. So we're going to continue to give you these commandments. And if you got any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Right, like the brother said, we family up here. Right. It's nothing but love up here. So today is a very special day. Right, today's not just any other Saturday. Right, it's a high holy day unto the Lord. Right, bring that out, King.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So this is part of the 10 commandments. Right, the Sabbath day. Right, so what's the Sabbath day, sister? What do you think it is? Well, let's find out.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
So the Lord said we got 6 days to labor and do all our works. Right, you got a job, sister? Okay, well, you like to, when you're at home, do you clean up and wash the dishes? So you got 6 days to do all that labor. Wash the dishes, wash the windows, make dinner, do all the things that a wife should do, right?
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
So the 7th day of the week is the Sabbath of the Lord our God. What's the 7th day of the week, sister? Saturday, right? So today is the what? The 7th day of the week. So it's the Sabbath day of the Lord, right? So in it,
thou shalt not do any work.
So today, sister, you can't do any work. Right? When you leave from here and you go home, no getting down and scrubbing the toilets because you saw a brown mark on the side. No washing the windows. No vacuuming the carpets. No sweeping the kitchen. What else do we do? What we used to do on the Sabbath? The dishes, cooking, wash clothes. All that is a thing of the past on the Sabbath day. Right? On the Sabbath day, we dwell together. That's why we got the sisters over here in unison. That's why we out here. Right? Being filled up with the words of the Lord, not doing our own pleasure. Give me that in Isaiah chapter 58. You had a priest, so you can bring it up.
I got Isaiah.
Come.
Isaiah 58 verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day.
So we have to turn away our foot from doing our own pleasures on the Sabbath day. Right, so what do you like to do, sister? What's some of your hobbies? What do you enjoy to do? I can't hear you. Okay, like listening to music. We all like listening to music. Now, what type of music should we be listening to? No, we should be listening to Psalms, sister. We should be going through Psalms. Right? It's 50 Psalms. A whole bunch of songs that you can go through. Right? Give me Psalms 1 and 1. Let's start off with a beautiful psalm on the Sabbath day, since you like music. Right?
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Psalm chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
That's a Grammy. Man, that's one of the hardest lines I've ever heard in my life. Damn a Lil Wayne verse. Damn a Future verse. That's one of the hardest songs. Damn, that's not even the whole song. That's a snippet. Read it one more time.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
All we need is a No Mercy beat behind it, and we jamming that all the time. That's the spiritual music we should be listening to. Right? You don't have to get rid of listening to music. You just got to fine tune it so it fits for the Lord. Because that's what we down here for. We here to serve the Lord. Right? Give me that in Ecclesiastes. Now, you can stay right there. We're going to continue with this spiritual music. This beautiful music right here. Because there's nothing more precious than the Psalms of the Lord.
Right.
Give me Ecclesiastes 12. Whoever got it.
Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
So this is the conclusion of the whole matter. This is when the at the end of the movie the credits are rolling. You seeing who did the visual, who did the music, who did the arts. This is the conclusion of it.
Fear God.
No, do what we want.
Fear God.
What's the conclusion of the matter?
And do what?
And keep his commandments.
So if the Lord told you not to do your own pleasures on the Sabbath day, what should you be doing, Sister Chastity? Not doing your own pleasures. Right? You see how easy it is? It's like riding a bike. Right? It's like riding a bike. After you do the first pedal, you do the next pedal. Then you do the next pedal, now you just riding. Right? Now you done went from East Baltimore to West Baltimore. You don't even know how that happened. It's because you trusted in the Lord and followed his commandments. Right? Let's go back to that Psalms.
The beginning.
You can go to verse 2.
Come, verse 2. Psalm chapter 1 and verse 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night.
So you should be meditating in the law day and night. Right? Give me Sirach chapter 34. Go to verse 1. Right? You should be, whoever got it.
Sirach chapter 34 and verse 1. The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false.
So it's no way to delight in the Lord if you don't have the understanding of the Lord. It's no way to truly serve the Lord if you haven't taken the time to apply and be delighted in his law, statutes, and commandments. Right? We can't be up here all night and teach you everything. That's where it requires you to do what, sister? To study and read. To open this Bible up. Do you have a Bible? Does anybody have a spare Bible for the sister? We might have a spare Bible for you, sister. Got it. You sure? Whoever got a spare Bible for this. Now, sister, if the brother give you this, you got to make sure you open this. Right? You got to make sure you open it, sister. This is your first step into serving the Lord. All praises to the Most High. God. Oh, and you got an Apocrypha, sister. Unopened Apocrypha. All praises to the Most High. Now you walking around with $2 million in your hand. $1 million in each hand. Right? Now, sister, we're reading the words of the Lord. Now, what should we be doing? Because there's certain things you have to do before you read the scriptures. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Right? You can't just open the Bible and sit down and just read it. Right? It's certain things. We have to reverence the Lord in all that we do. We have to reverence the Lord in all that we do. Right? It's extremely important. Right? Bring that out, okay?
1 Corinthians 11 verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So it's a power structure in this truth. It's a power structure with everything. Right? Brother, you at work, don't you got a boss? Doesn't your boss have a boss? It's a power structure. Right. So the head of every man is Christ.
Teach, King. Right?
And the head of the woman is the man.
So the head of your sister is your husband. Right?
And the head of Christ is God.
So the head of Christ is God. Right? So it goes God, the Messiah, man, woman, and the children that were brought forth from that union. Right?
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
So if we were out here reading the Bible or prophesying or praying and we had our head covered, we would be dishonoring our head. And whose man's head? The Messiah, Christ. Right? That man right there, right? That's him, right? All right, we're going to touch on that. So if we're out here teaching and Nehemiah had his head covered, he'd be dishonoring the Lord, right?
Come. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head, for that is even all of one as she were shaven.
So when you're reading the scriptures or praying, you're supposed to have your head covered, right? It'll be just as, you might as well shave your head if you don't want to cover your head when you're reading the words of the Lord. Right? So when you open that Bible or the Apocrypha, what should you do, sister? How should your head be? And what about your husband? Uncovered. Right? These are the things you gotta remember this, sister. I know it's a lot, but these are the things you gotta explain to him. Right? He's gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? What are you saying? Right? And then when you start explaining to him, he'll be like, that makes sense. You should be like, you know what? I met some brothers at the harbor. I want you to meet them. And bring that brother out here. Right, yeah, bring his ass out here.
That's right.
Right? Bring him out here. We just family who has not met in this lifetime yet. Right? So we was talking about this man right here, right? You said that's Jesus, right? I mean, if that's Jesus, you can say it. Don't have no shame in it.
That's the Jesus I was taught.
That's the Jesus you were taught. Now we was taught we was black, right? Now are we black? So it seems like somebody been lying to us for a very long time, right? So let's see if that's truly who the Bible says is Jesus Christ. Right? You ever play baseball or softball? What happens when you get 3 strikes? You out, right? So let's play baseball with that image right there, right? Let me get Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 1. The revealing of Yahushua Mashiach.
You can read it verbatim.
The revealing of Jesus, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
So this is to reveal, right? So we're revealing who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right?
Right.
So when we're revealing something, you see Scooby-Doo?
Right.
Who is this behind this mask? Boom. Mr. Johnson, everybody's confounded.
Right.
So now we're going to reveal what the Lord looks like. Right, let's go to verse number 12.
Verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me.
So this is John the Revelator. He walked with Jesus Christ. Surely he knows what the person he devoted his life to looks like, right? I'm sure I would know. I looked at that man every day of my life.
Right.
And John was an old man.
Right.
He's a very old man, and he can remember a lot of things, right?
And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks.
So it's 7 golden candlesticks. Like on the brother right there, Nasha Aya's shirt on the horns. You see the 7 golden candlesticks? What the world would call a menorah. So in the midst of the menorah,
one like unto the Son of Man.
Who's the Son of Man? No, the Son of Man. Yeah, remember, who are we revealing? So who's the Son of Man? Who the world would call Jesus Christ, right?
Right. Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
So he had on a long garment, it's like a king, a long garment like down unto the foot, right? So these are like long garments down to the foot, right? That's ancient clothing. That's expensive clothing right there.
Right.
Right, this stuff we got on is cheap and tattered.
Right.
Right, you could get one of these shirts for $3.
Right.
You ain't getting no $3 garment.
Right.
Right, he had a long garment on.
And girt about the paps with the golden girdle.
So he had on a golden girdle, like a WWE belt. Right? Who wears gold like the so-called black man? With the elder right there got on a gold chain. Tell me that thing don't look right on his neck. If we put this on a Chinese man neck, what are we gonna say? Yeah, what the hell you had that on for? So you had on a gold girdle, right? Nobody wears gold like us, right?
His head and his hairs.
His head and his hairs, right? So his head and his hairs
were white like wool.
Were white like wool. What texture is wool? Who has woolly like hair? We do. Right? The brother right next to you. He has woolly like hair. Right? And what color was it? White. So if somebody had white woolly hair, what would they look like? Elder Morris right there. Right? He looked like Elder Morris right there. So let's go to that. Is that white or is that woolly? Not at all. That's strike 1 and strike 2, right?
Right. As white as snow.
Right.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
What color are his eyes? Is that the color of a flame of fire? So we say that's strike 3, but we'll give him another chance at bat. Right? So that's ball. So 2 strikes, 1 ball.
And his feet.
And his feet. Now we can see your feet, sister. You're not looking at your feet, but we can see your feet because it's the same color as your body, right? If you did have on shoes and we took your shoes off, you're not gonna have orange feet or purple feet or lime green feet like the brother's shirt.
Right.
Your feet are gonna be the same color as your body. And his feet
like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? B-R-A-S-S. Brown, right? You can't even tell where the brass starts or where it ends. Right? Ain't that an India Irie song? Brown skin, I can't tell where yours begins, I can't tell where mine ends. That's brass. I don't know where that brother's hand starts or ends. Right? And his feet,
like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
If you burn anything, what color is it turning? It's kind of real dark.
Right.
Now that's strike 3, because he damn sure ain't real dark, is he? If that's not Jesus Christ, step on his face. all three of their faces, sister. That's a lie. That's a lie that has been told to our people for generation on generation on generation. For generation on generation on generation. Right? We down here to cast down these strong doctrines and these strong lies of philosophy. That's the only Jesus you knew, because you truly didn't know the Lord. Now that you know the Lord, you got to worship him in spirit and in truth. Bring that out in Revelation 4 and 2. Let's see what he truly looked like.
Revelation 4 verse 2. And immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and sardine stone.
So we saw the Son of Man, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, sitting upon a throne looking like a jasper stone and a sardine stone. Now we have images right here. This is what you call a jasper stone and a sardine stone.
Make her up, huh?
Who walks around with that color skin?
Make her up. Yeah.
Who? No. The Israelites. There you go, sister. Right? So if the Son of Man looked like us, what do you think the Father looked like? The Heavenly Father. Give me that Daniel. Well, let's read it in the Bible.
Daniel 7 verse 9.
See, these are the things that they don't read, but they show you pictures. Right? It's a wise saying. If you want to keep anything from a black man or a black woman, what should you do? You should put it where? In a book, right? Because niggas don't read books. Excuse my language. That's the truth. But we not niggas. We princes, kings, and daughters and princesses of Zion. We getting rid of that narrative out here, right?
Daniel 7 verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Like the pure wool, right? So the elder had a afro, or not the elder, the Most High had an afro look like a pure wool, right? Just like his people had afros of pure wool. Come on. So we out here showing you that that's a lie, because that's actually a man who actually walked the earth. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 12. Right, the Bible explains everything. It's nothing that the Bible doesn't show us. Right? Come on.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
So that's a devising of an idol. Everything on there is a damn idol. Right? People walk over to Mecca and they bow down to that stone. You know what that stone smells like? That stone, you don't even want to know. It's indescribable. Right? Them nasty Arabs rubbing on it, kissing it, spitting it. Right? I thought that, what they call it? You can't even say, right? That CVID. The CVID. You know what the CVID is, right? Can you tell her what it is in her ear? Not close, but the pestilence. The pestilence that was going around. What happened to the regulations with that? But they still was going over there licking it and kissing it, and doing whatever to it, walking around, coughing in each other's faces, right? And then you got that cross right there, right? Whenever you think of that cross, then you think of that sad, nasty, boneless white man. Don't people bow down to it and cry? And then you got that nasty moon and the stars. That's why people worship Islam, because it got beaten to them. They castrated our men, put cats in our women and sold it up, ripped their arms off so they couldn't fight when they was raping. All these nations have dealt treacherously with us. Hold that. Let me get 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse number 10.
I'm here. 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse number 10.
Bring it out.
Slide.
Right? So everybody has had a hand in our destruction. This isn't a small, light thing. It wasn't just a white man said, boom, let's go get these Negroes. Let's go get these Hispanic people. This was a calculated plan to destroy you and have you think that you was nothing.
Right.
Right? A calculated plan so you'll never call yourself a daughter of Zion. A calculated plan so our children wouldn't know who they were. So after many generations and generations and generations, here we are. Right? We got our people walking to and fro, lost as hell, mugging us. Right? We don't know that, brother. He don't gotta mug us. Right?
1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 10. What nation had not part in her kingdom and had gotten of her spoils?
So what nation hasn't had part in the destruction of our people? Didn't we build the Great Wall of China? Didn't we make all those roads over there in Turkey?
Right.
Didn't we build up America? Didn't we do all these things? Everybody had a hand in our destruction, right? Bring that out, King.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other.
So these were the curses that the brother Kasadia was going into earlier, right? So we got scattered into the four corners of the earth, right? North, south, east, west. That's why if you go over there to China, it's a sister who looked just like you, and you wouldn't understand the things she said because of the slave trade over there, right? So we were scattered to and fro.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
So we served other gods, not the gods that our forefathers knew, but the gods that they forced upon us, right?
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Even wood and stone.
Right.
Right, the two biggest religions on earth today.
Right.
And they trying to merge them together.
Right.
Right? Chrislam.
Right.
Chrislam, that's a real thing.
Madness.
Right, Chrislam, they trying to make that the new thing. That's part of that 2025.
Wow.
Right? Try to merge us in with idolatry. But that man right there is the chief idolater of the earth. Right? The devising of idols. Let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 14. Right, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 and verse number 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life.
And the invention of them the corruption of life. Because that man has a beginning and he has an end. Right? Keep going, King.
Verse 15. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning.
Now, sister, you have a cell phone on you? Look up on your phone Caesar Borgia. Right? Caesar Borgia. C-A-E-S-A-R. Oh, you found it? Okay, take your time, sister. We doing baby steps with you. You got it? Oh, it just turned off? Oh, it's all good. Look, the brother right here got you. Right? See, this is brotherly love right here.
That's
your
right.
phone cut off. Shoot, we got 1,000 different phones out here.
Right.
So that's Caesar Borgia. That's who? It's starting to make sense with it. Well, let's get the origin of how he became a god to the so-called black man, woman, and child.
For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he had made an image of his son, soon taken away, now honor him as a god.
So that man is Caesar Borgia. He's the son of Rodrigo Borgia, right? The 6th Pope of Rome. So his son died because he was a freak.
Right.
He was a freak. He did a whole bunch of homosexual acts.
Right.
He murdered his brother, raped his sister. Right. He had a gay lover. Right. And he died. The Lord took him away. And now his father, being the Pope, made him up to be an image to be worshipped. Right.
Which was then a dead man.
He was already dead. Wasn't nobody thinking about Caesar Borgia. He caused hell on the earth. Right. But then he said, no, that's my son. I'm so tired. I'm sad. I've been crying. My eyes hurt.
Yeah.
Right? Let's make him an image.
And delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. Thus, in the process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law.
So that ungodly custom, it grew stronger and stronger and stronger. Because all the time they made you worship and bow down and kiss their feet. Don't you be seeing them do that in them Catholic churches? That big old statue of white Jesus, bloody, then the paint chipping off. It look gross, don't it? Doesn't that image scare you? Why the hell was we worshiping it then? Because it was made a law under the people who were under subjection to them. And we were under the Romans. The Romans killed the Lord. Right? And they made us worship his image like he was the Lord. Right?
And graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings.
And graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings. So the people who reigned over us caused us to look at that man as God. You ever seen Good Times? You ever seen the episode when they got into a big debate about the picture of the Lord? And she was like, you're not going to take down my white Jesus. And all this bad stuff started happening when they kept white Jesus up. But when they took the image, man, James got a new job. JJ sold a painting. Michael got a scholarship. What's the daughter name? Thelma almost, she got engaged. Right? Walona found her husband. Everything was going good. But the mother, she wanted to keep that image because she was scared to let it go. And that's the same thing that's happening to our people who are scared to let go of black, African American, nigga, bad B, baddie, what's some other one? Thotties, whatever we call our hoes, Tatianas, hot girls. I'm a demon, I'm a goon, I'm a thug. We scared to let these things go because that's comfort to us. Only people scared hold on to things that are lies. If you're truly strong, you break hold of that and you cleave to what is true.
That's right.
Right? Go back to Psalms 1 and 1 since you love music, sister. Let's go back to the music because that all correlates back to Psalms 1 and 1.
Psalms chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
And that's what we out here to teach you, sister. Don't dwell in the congregation of the dead, the counsel of the ungodly, the people who don't want to serve the Lord. These are the brothers and sisters up here who don't congregate in the counsel of the ungodly. Because we're trying to be the godly. We're trying to be the image of the Lord. We're trying to be perfect as the Lord commanded us to be, right? Keep going.
Nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night.
And so every day you should be meditating on the Lord's commandments, day and night. Did I offend in this? Did I offend in that? You know what? Tomorrow I'm not going to offend in that. I'm going to make it my onus that I don't fall short again.
That's right.
For every sin you do, you should go 10 times harder. You don't fall again in that same temptation. Right? For each pair of pants you have, go buy a dress. Go buy a long skirt. And what are you supposed to put on that skirt? I don't think we went in there. Did anybody touch on that? Let's go to Numbers 15.
I'm there. It's Numbers chapter 15 and verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
So that's a commandment right there. You got to have fringes in the borders of your garment. Right? So on your dresses, sister, you should put fringes on it. Right? It don't matter the color of the fringe. Look, we got black fringes. We got gray fringes. The brother right here got black and damn silver fringes.
Wow.
Right? Got the high yellow fringes. Elder Moore's got the gold. Man, we out. You can put on any color fringe you want, but it's something else that has to be on the fringe. Throughout there, Salaki, we got white fringes, right? The brother hiding behind the sign, pure white, heavenly fringes, right?
Throughout their generations.
That means forever. Now you said you had children, right? You have a daughter? So what should your daughter be wearing? With what on them? There we go, sister.
That's right.
The brother right here got his sons out here. What you think they got on? That's how it's supposed to be. Now, brother, you've been up here a few times. What you supposed to have on your shirt?
What I'm understanding and I've learned, my single.
Your fringes. There you go, brother. Because we're going to see you again, Lord willing. And you're going to have what on? You going to have what? Fringes. All right, brother, you come up next week, Lord willing, we make sure you have some fringes. Put it on under that shirt, right?
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
So this is a physical reminder to keep the commandments of the Lord. That you never forget not to eat crab, shrimp, or lobster. That you never forget to never worship that man again. That you never forget that you're an Israelite. And if you do feel like you're coming short, you got this right here to look at. Right? Read a little bit more on that and I'm going to pass it. Now, sister, you're free to stay up here. We're going to be out here for a couple more hours.
That's right.
Yeah, stay up here and get this word. That's what you stopped up here for. Because man's goings are not of themselves. It's the Lord that got you up here. Right, you know what my time is up. Let's go to Luke chapter 18 and verse 7.
Luke 18 verse 7.
Bring it out.
And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night.
So the Lord is coming to get his elect. 12,000 of each of the 12 tribes of Israel, and 1/3 of the Israelites, men, women, and children who are deemed worthy to be delivered out of this captivity, right?
Unto him, though he bear along with them.
So the Lord sees the atrocities we're going through. He sees this interracial dating. Right, sister, get out. Get out, sister. Get away from that fake Justin Timberlake. Right? Come back home. Right?
I tell you that he will avenge them speedily.
Right? The Lord is coming like a thief in the night when you least expect it. Right? Don't get caught doing things you ought not to do.
Right.
Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?
So when the Son of Man cometh, who the world calls Jesus Christ, is he going to find faith? Right? Faith is the only thing that's going to sustain us in these last days. Not knowing all these songs, not working 12 hours a day, not having X amount of dollars in your bank account, but your faith in the Lord. And the only way to have faith and understanding is to keep his commandments. With that, I say, Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.